Hello again. My name is Tara Magitz, and I'm an attorney with the law offices of Drinkwater and Goldstein. We have been touching on different areas of the law where this office practices. Specifically, we have previously touched on motor vehicle accident cases and slip and fall cases. Today we're going to talk about dog bite cases, specifically trying to prevent a dog bite case. We're in the springtime now, and the weather is, cross your fingers, starting to get warmer. It doesn't feel like it today, but there have been days where it has been warmer, and so people are coming outside more and more with their animals. And even though we associate dogs as being man's best friend, they can be dangerous. Even the friendliest of dogs, when provoked, is going to attack or can attack. So we just have some important facts about dog bites, some tips and tricks to pay attention to and hopefully prevent a dog bite incident. Because most dog bites are preventable. They're not all preventable, but if you utilize the tips and tricks that we're going to talk about today, you are going to lower the potential for a dog bite to occur. Now, surprisingly, and I found this surprising, although I guess it seems reasonable, the two age groups which are most likely to be involved in dog bite incidences are children under the age of 14 and senior citizens over the age of 65. About 1 in 5 people who is bitten by a dog requires medical treatment of some kind, according to the American Veterinary Medical Association. Now, there are a couple things that can be done when you are interacting with the dog and to try and prevent dog bites as an owner. The first thing is to, as best as possible, adopt a dog with a known background. Now, most people are going to advise you that you should be adopting a dog from a shelter and not a puppy mill dog. One important thing to pay attention to when you are adopting from a shelter is to try and get as much history and information from the shelter as you can about the animal. Obviously, they're not necessarily going to know everything, but you should get enough information to make sure that you are comfortable with the background. You want to ask questions about, how the temperament is, what information they've been given, whether or not they believe that their dog has bitten someone or been previously involved in some sort of a provoked or unprovoked attack. You want to train your dog once you have the dog as an owner. Dog training is a wonderful tool to make sure that you understand how your dog is going to react in certain situations, and to provide you with ways to redirect the animal. There are a multitude of different options available for dog training. If you do a search of the local shelters, they can probably give you information about training facilities that they recommend, and shelters recommending is a good thing because they have the relationship in the community. You want to make sure that you socialize your dog from a young age, and that includes not only other animals, but that involves people as well. It is not recommended that young children be left alone with dogs, whether or not you are aware of their temperament. That is one area where the increased risk of a dog bite or attack is going to occur. So you want to keep an eye on kids and dogs. And then if your dog does demonstrate aggression, you want to take immediate action and make sure that you address that to try and make sure that the behavior does not reoccur, or if you're aware the behavior is going to reoccur, that you can redirect the behavior or make sure that your animal is not out in public where it might injure a person. And then, just be careful. Just because you think you know what's going to happen with your dog, you don't always, so be aware of your surroundings and watch for the signs that your animal is exhibiting as they are out and about in public to try to minimize the risk of an attack. Because dogs use body language, so pay attention to their body language. How do they react when you are interacting with them? How do they react when others are interacting with them? Are they walking easily? That sort of a thing. And then when you're out and about with and you see a dog, pay attention to that dog's behavior. Does it appear to be friendly? You always want to make sure to ask the dog owner whether or not it's okay to interact with the animal before you do so. If you don't know the dog, it's extremely important that you make sure from the owner of the dog that if you want to interact with that animal, that it is in fact safe to do so. Just because the dog is out in public, you shouldn't always assume that it is a friendly dog. It may be a friendly enough dog, but one that you don't want to necessarily interact with. It's important to make sure that if a dog is eating, sleeping, or playing with a toy, that you be careful of your interactions with the animal, because that can provoke an attack, especially if they are what we call resource guarding, which is guarding their resource. They're more likely to attack in those situations or have the tendency to attack. And you want to make sure that if you have any children who are going to be interacting with dogs, that you just let them know that they should be careful when they are interacting with the dog, that as much as they see it as a plaything or as a toy, that it is a living, breathing animal that has the ability to injure them. And so you want to just go over dog safety tips with them. Now, we can never say when a dog is or is not going to attack. So following these tips and tricks is intended only to try to minimize the potential for an attack, not negate any sort of an attack. So to sum up, just be careful when you're interacting with the dog. Just because you think the animal is friendly, make sure with the owner, and just be careful in how you interact with the dog. If for some reason you have been involved in a dog bite incident or attack and you are in need of an attorney, this office does handle those cases. Please reach out to us. Again, this is the law offices of Drinkwater and Goldstein. Our telephone number is 856-753-5131. We're located in New Jersey. We handle cases in New Jersey only. And my name is Tara Magitz. I hope you learned something from this, and we'll catch you next time.